Hey everybody, this is Mike, and what I'm going to show in this video is how I overlay maps. It's pretty different than what most other people do. I like my method a lot for several reasons, and I'll get into that as we go along. But first off, this is different than what most people do. Again, I'll show you as we go along why I do what I do, and hopefully it'll become clear to you. Also, I wrote an article on this. If you go to allmetalmode.com, go to Mike's blog, and then how-to articles, you can find the article. I'll probably end up adding this video there, but hopefully when we're all said and done, everybody will understand. The reason I'm doing the video, a lot of people read the article and they still don't get it. So hopefully with this video I can do it. So what we're going to do first is I've already opened up my Google Earth. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I've already got a map up here. I think this is like 19 teens. There's much earlier for this area. But I just pulled one just to show you how to do it, how we're going to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to zoom in on this. And you always want to start, I like starting at the corners, but you usually can't do that because like right here, I know where this is at. It's not to say I'm going to be able to find these roads up here starting off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in here. I know where this is at. I know where this is at. So I'm going to start there. So what I'm going to do is I want to zoom in on this map some. I'm going to say probably about right there, and you can play with it. You know, whatever you want to do, and there's a lot of sources for old maps, but okay, now I'm going to pull up my Google Earth, and this is my hometown, Tip City, Ohio. That'll get us really close. So we're zooming in. Okay. So we're going to go east. And you see there's Brant. There's Fountain and Brant. So what I'm going to do now, always make sure when you zoom in, you hit this button, because what it does is we zoom in, it tilts a little bit, and you don't want it tilted. See how it tilted? So we're going to zoom back out. I'm going to get those two. Okay, now what you're not going to see here is on my actual screen. Let me show you. Let me try to get these lined up the best I can. Okay. So that's like the best I can do, so that we know that's over in that corner. You know, we're getting close. We know Fountain right here is about there on our Google Earth, roughly. I mean, we're not actually, I don't think we're going to be able to get Fountain in, but we're just kind of wanting to line it up close, and I just bounce back and forth. Okay, now you can see, if you look here, this road has changed. This road now curves out over here. So this is still the same. So I'm going to try to line that up with that. So we need to, as you can see, it's fallen short. We're going to try, we need to zoom in a little bit on this map. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to left click and just, that's all I'm going to do. A little bit at a time. Let me see. Okay, this needs to come up a little bit here. And we're close. Okay, now what you're not going to see is I have a pointer in my hand that's actually going to touch the screen. So I am touching the screen right here with my pointer on my screen. Okay, then I bounce back. See how far I'm off? Now I'm going to drag this over here till it's dead on. Then I'm going to bounce back, make sure I'm good. Okay, I'm good. So now I'm moving my pointer over here to Fountain. Okay, I'm not going to hit Fountain. So what I'm going to do is this road here. I'm going to line this up with this road right here. You see, we're fairly close. Okay, so now I've got my pointer right here in my hand, literally touching the screen. Okay, you see how much we need to zoom in some more. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to make sure that we're flat again. Then I'm going to start bouncing back and forth. Okay, well first I'm going to line that up. Now let's see where that puts us over here. I'm back over here with my pointer. And we are close. We need to zoom in just a hair more. Let's try that. And now I know this takes some time, but once you get these lined up, as we move along, we will get it it'll stay pretty good within the map. Sometimes you got to make for little adjustments. Okay, we're still just a little bit off. Let me flip that back and forth real quick. Keep in mind, I've got an actual pointer on the screen, so we are still. I'm coming back over here with my pointer, putting it right on that intersection. Okay, I'm dead on. So now I'm coming over here with my pointer. Dead on. Okay, I'm dead on now. So this road and this road, this intersection is perfectly lined up with this intersection and this intersection on the map. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to start bouncing back and forth just by clicking on my Google Earth and look for where there might not be. See if I can find where some houses were that are gone. Now, you see, if you look right here, look at this. We're close. I mean, it's showing like right at the top of where my pointer is. A little bit south of the actual house. But we're close. I mean, considering we're in a couple mile range here. But let me see if I can find something. Okay, right there's one. No, that ain't one. Okay, here's one. Look right here and here. Let's bounce back. Do you see anything up there? I think that one's still there, but you don't see anything in this field. So let's bounce back. And then we want to check that. Okay, this is lining up really good to the other map. Okay, so now I'm putting my pointer on this house right here. In my hand, my pointer is on that. Then I come down here, flip that, and right there. So that house site's right there, and my pointer in my hand is actually on that. So I just clicked the thumbtack. I might have got off a little bit there talking, and then you want to put it right at the tip of where my pen pointer is. Okay, so let's hit OK. Now, before we go on, let me show you something you want to do. This is very important. If you get into overlaying much, you're gonna find you run into this where you just got a big folder full of stuff. So we're gonna do Ohio. Okay, now we're gonna do, this is Miami County. We're going to come up here and we're going to label this Miami County. Okay. Now we're going to do another folder and we're going to do Bethel Township. Okay, at least go that far with it. Trust me. I mean, it's well worth it in the end. Then we want to take this and we want to move this down here to Bethel Township. Now let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, so when you get into Google Earth, it's going to be Ohio, Miami County, then you're going to click on the Miami County, Bethel Township, all that. You get what I'm saying. you're keeping everything organized. Now, I would take this even a step further, and I would say, I don't remember what map this is taken off of. This is just for an example. Matter of fact, I don't even use this Nuva map. I use, for this particular county, there's much earlier maps. But there are 3 maps I'll look at. So I messed up. Hold on one second. Miami County. Rename. And I would put Miami County. Let's say it's I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was 1909 map. And then as I would do others, I would label them. You know, if I did the map from, say, 1858 and all that. So you've got them in separate folders. In the long run, it really helps you out. So there's our first spot right there, right? So then we come back and we're going to do the same thing again. Just kind of bounce back and forth, look at certain areas. And we also want to, as we're doing this, we want to, if we're gonna be up here or over here, we want to realign it a little bit, or probably won't have to realign it. Make sure the map still lines up, because right now we're lined up we know from here to here is perfect. We don't know that here to here is still perfect, or here to here is perfect. So, you know, if we're going to work up in here, we just kind of want to make sure that those roads line up as well. Let me check this one. Let me first make sure that lines up. That lines up. Okay. So what I just did is, with Google Earth, I made sure this road and this road these intersections lined up, and they do. They line up perfect. Well, right here, you see there's nothing there. That's roughly in here. Okay? So now what I'm going to do, I jump back and I've got my pin pointer in my hand touching my screen right here. And I hold it steady, kick up my Google Earth, and it's right there. So I add another push pin. Now, as you can see, my pencils are that came up. You can move this out of the way, and I'm bringing it right down to my pin pointer, which I'm using a pencil right now. It's all I could find, and I broke the end and made the wood real soft, and no rough areas. Another thing I would do right here is this. For now, and we might change this down the road, but we're going to go 1909 map, just so you got it. You know that's off the 1909 map. Let's go ahead and change this one here. Right click on it, rename, and we're going to come over here. Tino, don't know what I did there. Don't know what's going on. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so we're going to go 1909 map. So, okay, now I see something I did. I was in the wrong folder on that last one. What do we got here? Well, this one went to temporary places. Just drag it up. Make sure when you start overlaying it, that doesn't jump into somewhere else. Sometimes that'll happen. So that's how you do it. It's that simple. Now, I said that the reason I like this the way I do it, a couple reasons. Okay, what a lot of people do is they take these maps. I've done it in the past, and I don't remember how to do it anymore because I didn't find it very useful. Is they actually take like the map I just did, and they make it semi-transparent where you can see through it, and they physically put it on here. Well, what happens when you start working up this way and that way, if it gets off, there's no way to change it. I can readjust on the fly like this if I need to zoom in, zoom out, and that's why I use this method. Let me get rid of that. So let's keep going here a little bit. What I'm looking at here now is this intersection. I want to see how close we are. So again, my pen pointer is going there on the screen, physically touching the screen gently. Now how are we so off over there? My pen pointer is showing over here. See, if we even though we were good here and here, all these intersections are good, lining up perfect. Look how far off we are over there. Now, I know from experience that road hasn't changed. I'm not going to say why, but I know for a fact that road hasn't changed, or not that much. So that tells me the map's off a little bit, and you're going to get that. You know, the 1909. Try 1858. They're going to be off. Well, we can adjust for that. So okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to scoot this over some because we're going to work this now, but we also want to check that. So, okay, my pen pointer is going to go here, right here at Fountain. And so we're going to have to move, we can't move this map. Well, that stinks. I don't know. This isn't usually how I do it. Or not always. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, Fountain's there. See, with the pen pointer, it's over here under. Let's do this. Let me just see if I can get Fountain in there. Okay, now if I can get Fountain in there, that's about right there. Okay, we are too big now. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Let me take it down a little bit so we can. Okay, let's see if Fountain's still. Okay, we're better now. So right there's where Fountain's going to line up. Right there. Use my pen pointer. Now I'm going to jump back and see. Okay, we're showing here. So this map is too big. So what we're going to do is come over here and zoom out. We're going to check. So now I'm going to bring up this map again. Okay, and I'm lining this intersection up again. Okay, we're lined up there. I'm going to bounce back, and I'm up here at this intersection with my pen pointer. We are still too big. I'll put my pen pointer there again. And we are dead on there. Now let's check down here. Okay, I'm still just a hair too big. So I'm lining this up again. That intersection. Okay, we're lined up perfect. I'm bounced back. I'm going to do this intersection. My pen pointer's on there. Perfect. We are perfectly lined up. Now, with that lined up, I'm going to come to this intersection. I want to see how far, if the map's off. Okay, we're a little bit off there. We'll have to remember that. Now I'm going to this intersection. We're a couple 100 yards off. So we want to stick to this area here and know that we got to adjust if we moved right, or, you know, of course we got to double check if we move up. So I'm going to do that. Well, you can see right here, there's 2 sites. So let me put my pin pointer right there, and you see where that's at. Now, once we overlay these, now I got to move this out of my way, move my pin pointer over, and there you go. Now, do you see we got coordinates here? So a spot like this, you wouldn't need coordinates, because let me just zoom. I don't want to zoom in. I'll show you later. I don't want to lose where we're at, but we've got coordinates here. So that, again, this is 1909 map. There we go. So I'll zoom in later and show you what I'm talking about. So we've got that, and now we got this one right on the corner right here. So I'm putting my pin pointer right on that dot. I'm flipping back, and you see now where that is. And then it goes like this. So if you physically overlay a map, you're rarely, I mean, the little bit of time I spend on it, you overlay a whole map and it's not going to line up, okay, in certain areas, and you're just kind of stuck with it. So this method, I can adjust as I go, and it helps a lot. You know, just from this intersection to here was off. Now these still lined up. This actually lined up even this way, but when we got over here, it's way off. Off enough that it's going to cause you some trouble, where I feel like I'm very on it now, very close to it. Some of the apps that people use the same way. Now, like this site here, you know, well, I'll get into that later. Talk about that, but you know, some of the apps, I've heard issues like that as well, that it's hard. You know, you get your points all established, but then stuff doesn't line up. And this map, although it doesn't show it, your older maps will sometimes, not sometimes, all the ones that I've run across, your 1870s maps and stuff for like Ohio, they're not like this. They actually show you the boundary lines and the house sites. So you see how we're here and you see like this distinct boundary line? Most of those were the same back in the 1850s, 60s, 1870s. You see this one? That's still the same. All these are the same. So what you can do if you get a map that's way off or you're having trouble, a lot of times you can adjust it by lining up the property lines, especially if you notice a group of them together are all the same. And like I can tell you from experience on the 1858 map, this field is identical, still laid out the same. This long field here, the same. And on the 1858 map, there was a house in this square, and I feel like I nailed it perfect, because although the map was a little off, the 1858 map's a little more off, a little more difficult to overlay than this one. I could still use the fields. And you can't do that when you physically put a map on it. Another thing, once I get it all adjusted in, and it's just minor adjustments as I move, it's very quick and easy. I can usually do a township that's usually, I would say, a guesstimate somewhere between 125 to 175 sites that are gone. This is Ohio that I'm talking about, but I can usually do them within an hour, and I get more accuracy than when you physically overlay a map. Another thing I've heard, and I don't know, like I know a lot of people use Maprika, but they say once you upload that to your phone, anybody can go look at it. Well, the last thing you want to do is put all the hard work into overlaying a map, upload it to that database, and then anybody can go look at it. This way, I can click on this How do I open it? I thought I just clicked on it. Brain fart, I'm telling you. That's okay. We'll go ahead and zoom in. I think I edit. Why has that? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to open it. I've only done this for years, and I think it's changed. This is a new Google Earth Pro. Another thing I want to tell you, you can use Google Earth on your browser. To do this and get your coordinates and everything, you need to download it. Why am I having trouble with this? Give me a second here. Something's changed. I just updated to Google Earth, and I'm trying to figure out how to open this up. I wanted to show you what I do. I don't know. This is aggravating me. I'm sorry about this. I didn't know they changed this. I think you just used to click on it. Oh, properties. Oh, why was I struggling there? Okay, so we've got this. Now what I'll do, once I get a township overlaid, I'll try to find the owners through, you want to go online, start with online at the county auditor's website. And I can tell you this county doesn't have it, and you'd have to go in to find it. The auditors building, the people at the auditor's office are usually very helpful. You go in, they'll pull a screen up for you, and you point out where you want to be. You might want to print this off first or something, or print some off so you get several. And they'll give you the owners, but if you can do it online, I'll add all that information in here. I'll add, if I hunted, I keep notes. I mean, this is for notes. So you can add anything you want. You know, a lot of times I'll change this. Like, I'd keep this 1909, and I would change it to the person's name and number so I know I've got it. And then this, you know, this one I can't hunt down who owns it. It just stays 1909 map. But this one, 1909, John Anderson owns it. You know, so I know that I know who owns that, and I can easily try to get permission. Another thing why we were talking about, like, you know, we were zoomed out so far. Now we can zoom in, and I know this place. You know, you can see where a road came in here, or a driveway. So when you zoom in a little bit, right here, I know these sites. Can't believe I'm overlaying. Don't hunt there. Miami County, it's mine. Don't touch it. But yeah, you can zoom in then and see a little bit better where you overlaid. Sometimes, like, I'll overlay in a patch of woods or something, and I'll give you a good example. Where was it? Like, I want to say, I know where I was at. I've overlaid this county extensively. Right down in here, I overlaid some, and you know, when you're zoomed way out, you can't see. But when I zoomed in, and what was really cool off an early map, I believe it's this house right here. I want to say it's that one. That's an old one. I think there's a roof right there. Somewhere in here, I found that the house is still standing. well, I'm not all that interested in stuff that's still standing. I like to go out and hunt. So I'll just take it off. Or, if it's that old, I might hunt it. But, once you get everything overlaid, you can zoom in and see it. But, yeah, I think that's okay, let me go over this real quick. So we started here, right here. And we lined up here. As many intersections as you can, you want to get lined up. That now sometimes you can't do that. We might align this intersection and this intersection, and then go to line up that intersection, and it's way off. And this particular map, it worked, but it was off from here to here. So you've got to find your points that line up that you can use, and then you might have to adjust. So we started with these two intersections, then we went here. Now we can go up here, but you want to keep one of your last references in. So I would go down here, then I would use this intersection and this intersection, and hopefully this intersection or this. You want to get that square. So let's say you get all this overlaid here. We could continue north or east, but you want to keep one of your last intersections as a reference. And it's very easy. I hope you guys understand this. I know a lot of people have trouble with it when I try to explain it, but hopefully you get it. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I think this is a good starter video. See how it works out. Maybe somebody has questions and I can do a little bit different. And we'll get into some more. I think I'll eventually get around to doing some more where it's a little more technical, stuff doesn't line up, and we'll spend some more time doing that. But this is going to be video 1. This will be the first one I do on overlaying. And hey, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out, and let me know. So thank y'all.